Okay, tamam. Okay, now it's recording, right? Okay, sorry. Just realized. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Imagine Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam with his beautiful face and his beautiful eyes. He has very kind eyes, very kind, beautiful eyes. His very smiley face. How he loved children very, 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 very much. And then you can imagine Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was muscular. He was not like bulky, right? But he was strong, like a strong man. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, strong man with strong arms and a strong shoulder and a strong chest. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't have a pot belly. No, he was flat. His belly was flat. Flat, and his chest was also the same level as his belly. He was flat chest, flat belly. So not like some people have big chest, right? Or they're big belly. No, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was just nice. MashaAllah, it was perfect in every way. His body was lean. It was lean. It means it was muscular but not bulky. And his arms were strong, like a man has strong arms. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is like that. And his hands are wide. Like your father's hands are wide. His big hands, right? Men have big hands, right? So Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was like that, wide hands, wide shoulders, like a strong man, mashallah, right? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was stronger than 40 men. He could beat 40, he could win, he won't beat people, but he could win 40 men. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was stronger than 40 men, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Okay, right, let us, just, okay, tamam. All right, so let us imagine him in front of us and then us read our hadith, okay? قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Okay, I give you all one warning, okay, before I start the class. Anybody who writes things right on the chat that is not a question about the class or answering my question, I'm gonna lock the chat, okay? Okay. All right. So don't write that you're sleeping or what on the chat. That's not the place to write it. Okay. Okay. Can you be respectful? Because I'm about to teach, then you say you feel like sleeping. Why? Okay. Be awake. Okay. You want to hear about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. Okay. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم Jalisul Kubara. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, sit with the elders. Jalisul Kubara. Wasailul Ulama. And ask the scholars questions. Wakhalitul Hukama. And mix with the wise. MashaAllah. Again. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جالس الكبراء سائل العلماء وخالط الحكماء. تمام. Okay, today's stories are all about Bahlul. You know who is Bahlul? Right, Bahlul is a very special man. He's actually a sheikh. He's Sheikh Bahlul. He's very wise. He's very, very, very wise. And for you all, I've been reading my book, all the stories of Bahlul. I have a book, all his stories. So just for you all, I yesterday the whole day when I was in school during my break, I would take out my book and I'll read all the stories. So interesting, Bahlul stories, mashallah. He's a very wise man, Bahlul. Who draw on my whiteboard? Okay. Uh, Bahlul, he is a very, interesting character in Islam. He did not live in the time of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? He lived after Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe by 100 plus years, right? After Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, right? But he lived more than 1,000 years before us, right? But this Bahlul, how should I draw him? I want to draw him in a way that everybody can recognize is Bahlul. This Bahlul, like he is a Bahlul, his name is Bahlul. Right, this Bahlul, he's a sheikh, he's very clever and very pious. He's an ulama, right? He is one of the scholars, right? But, okay? But Bahlul, right, he likes to dress like a simple person. I mean, like a cloth around his head, okay? I like to dress like a simple person, right? Let me draw his head like that. Uh, and he likes to do strange things that people think that he is crazy. But he's not crazy. But he likes to do things to make people think. He's actually a very wise person. He's not crazy at all, right? But he does very strange things. Bahlul, he does very, very strange things, right? And people think that he is a strange, crazy fella. Like, who is this hanging around? He likes to hang around graveyards, sit on the grave and talk to the people of the grave. So people think that he's crazy. He's talking to the people of the grave. What's wrong with him? But actually, he's a very, very pious person and very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's one of the awliya. Awliya means they are very special people who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they dua, their du'as are answered straight away because Allah loves them very much. Okay. So this Bahlul, like he likes to sit around graves or he likes to sit around the sand areas of outside the city and play with sand. This Bahlul. MashaAllah, he's a very funny person. Like, and he likes to hang around children. He actually likes children. So his friends are all children. He's a grown man, but his friends are all children. Because he says that he said that old people or adults they're very complicated. He doesn't like adults. He likes children. Children are easy, and he likes to play with children. Right, so this Bulul is very poor. Okay, Bulul is very poor, right? But he does not care about being poor. Okay. Right. So one day, Bahlul, like he was sitting down. Let me see. He's actually very poor, but I don't know what kind of clothes to draw for him. But he's a very poor person. Let me draw for him a sarung. Right? He wears sarung. Right. Because the poor people, they will wear like a sarung. And then he'll walk around barefoot. Right? They have no shoes. His shoes, his feet like that. Okay. Right. So right, so one day, Bahlul was sitting in the sand with his children friends. He had friends who were children, right? Let me draw his children friends, like. Right, so there were children who like to sit around Bahlul. They sit around Bahlul, right? And they like to talk to Bahlul as Bahlul likes to talk to them. Right? Bahlul is not like to talk to adults because adults have a lot of problems. He finds adults boring. See, adults are very boring. And they have all kinds of problems. He doesn't like adults. He likes to sit with children. Bahlul's brother is actually the king. His brother, And Bahlul is one of the poor people of the town. It's called Baghdad. They stayed in Baghdad. Right? So the kids love to talk to Bahlul. They sit around Bahlul and they say, Bahlul, tell us more stories, Bahlul. Bahlul, can you tell us about this? Can you tell us about that? So the kids, they love to sit around Bahlul and they love to hear the stories of Bahlul because Bahlul was a very wise person. Remember Nabi Muhammad SAW said, mix with the wise. If you can find wise people, you should mix with them. Inshallah, if I have time, I'll tell stories about my teacher here in Tarim. She's very wise and I learned so many things from her. So I love to sit with her and just hear her talk and talk and talk and talk because she's so wise. So some of children sing with Bahlul and they are talking to Bahlul. Okay. So actually there were actually the story there were actually 10 children around Bahlul, okay? So I draw very fast, okay? I don't spend time drawing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many already? 8, 9. There's a crowd of people around Bahlul, but they're all children. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I also like to sit with children lah. I think adults are very complicated. Right? Huh? Oh, is it? I think she's built. He's built. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I also like to sit with children, Children are much, much more fun to sit with. Adults are very boring. But I'm also an adult. But adults are very boring. Okay, I also like to teach children more than I teach adults. Teach adults all, teach children more fun. Right. Okay. So they were sitting in the sand area, is at the desert, sitting in the desert together. Right? And then Bohlul was drawing things on the ground using a stick. Let me draw a stick for him, okay? There's Bohlul's stick. Okay, his stick. Okay, Bahlul had a stick, right? And he was using his stick to draw things on the ground. He was drawing lines on the ground for the children. So while he was drawing on the ground, right, when his brother, the king, came by, his brother is the king. Okay, his brother, his name is Harun al-Rashid. That's the brother's name. Right, so the brother came by on his very fancy horse. Right, so, but I don't know how to draw horse. Never mind. Okay, the brother came by. How do I draw the brother? I draw the brother on the other side. Okay, okay. The brother came by. He is king or Khalifa. And it's like the Muslim king is called Khalifa, right? He is Khalifa Harun al-Rashid. Okay, can you remember all the names or not? Let me add a name for you, okay? This one is called Khalifa. Khalifa means what? King, okay, the leader. He's the leader of the Muslims. Khalifa Harun. His name is Harun. Rashid. He's actually a good Muslim. The brother is actually a good king. He's not a bad king. He's actually a good and fair king. Right? But he's still a king. Okay, he's still a king. So which means that he's very rich, he's very fancy, there's all these things, and sometimes Bohlul is his older brother actually. Harun al-Rashid is younger. Bohlul is older. So sometimes Bohlul will say things to Harun al-Rashid, like to scold him. But why do you have so much money, Harun? Why are you having so many things, Harun? Why do you have a big palace, Harun? He will actually scold his brother. Like so one day his brother came riding on his fancy horse. With his wife. Let me draw the wife behind him, okay? His wife is Queen Zubaida. Her name is what? Let me do the horse in brown lah. Right. What's the thing? Okay, his wife is Queen Zubaida. She's a very kind woman, the wife of Harun al-Rashid. She's a very kind woman, and she always wants to help Bahlul. Right? Let me draw Harun al-Rashid. Sitting on his, he's sitting on his horse. Uh, and then his wife is behind him. Okay, how I want to draw his wife? It is the arrow. Okay, the wife is in pink lah. Okay, this is the wife. Uh, undo. The wife was a very good woman. And his wife, the wife of Harun al-Rashid, right, she loved to help people, right? Poor people. She loved to give, you know how women sit last time? They will sit by the side like that. Even in Tari, when we sit on the motorbike, right? We sit like that by the side because it's more modest, right? We don't actually climb over the horse. We have no horse lah. We don't climb over the motorbike. This is the horse. Okay. And then the tail of the horse, nice of the horse. Not bad lah, the horse. Okay. Okay. So Harun al-Rashid, he came by with his horse, with his wife also. They were on their way somewhere. All right. So while they were going by, Harun al-Rashid from afar, he saw his brother Buhlul, like a princess. Yeah, she's a queen. She's the queen over the Muslims because her father, her husband is the king. Okay, her husband is the king, so she's the queen. She's Queen Zubaida. Her name is Zubaida, and she's Queen Zubaida. And she's a very, very, very kind woman. And she will go around, she will see who are the poor people, she will give them money, she will give them food, she will look after them, she will see which are the children who are orphans, who have no father and mother, she will look after them. Queen Zubaida was a very, very kind queen. Right? And King Harun al-Rashid was also a good king. Right? They are good people, but they're very rich. Okay, they're very rich. Okay, so they were going by, and Queen Zubaida always wanted to help Bahlul because Bahlul is her brother-in-law, right? It's her husband's brother. Her husband's oldest brother is Bahlul. But Bahlul will never take money. He doesn't want people to give him any money, especially money from the king. He doesn't want. He's happy with whatever he has from the ground. Whatever he can find, that is what he will eat. Bahlul. Sometimes he won't eat also. For how many days he will not eat? Bahlul. He's okay. He's fine. He doesn't care about eating. Bahlul. And so one day, Harun al-Rashid is going past, right, and he saw Bahlul playing on the ground. MashaAllah. Right, Bahlul was playing on the ground with the kids. So people call him crazy. They say, what kind of man is this playing with children by drawing things on the ground? What is he doing? Right, so Harun al-Rashid went by and said, Assalamu alaikum, Bahlul. How are you? And let me write the name of Zubaida, okay? This is Harun al-Rashid and this is Queen Zubaida with Queen Zubaida. Okay. So Harun al-Rashid came by and he said, Bulbul, what are you doing? Hmm? And Bulbul said, I am building a palace. And these children over here are my construction workers. They are all helping me build a huge, magnificent palace. And then Harun al-Rashid laughed and he said, What? You are building a palace like that on the ground? You're drawing a palace. You're not building a palace. You're drawing a palace. And Bulbul said, No, 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 no. I am a builder. And these children, they are my construction workers. Right? All of us, we are building huge palaces for sale. We're going to sell our palaces. This is why people call Bohlul crazy, right? But he's not. He's actually very smart. And there's a secret behind Bohlul. He doesn't start, Bohlul does not say things for no reason. Bohlul always has reasons why he's saying something. So Bohlul said, me and this poor, because the kids, right, were all poor kids. They're very poor children, right? And Bohlul said, me and these poor children, we want to earn some money. So we decided we're going to build magnificent palaces and sell them. Then Harun al-Rashid laughed and he said, I live in the palace and I know what's a palace. That is not any palace. It's just lines on the ground. You're just drawing things on the ground. You're not building any palace. And he was laughing and thinking, how silly is this Buhlul? Queen Zubaida said, but Queen Zubaida, she really wants to help Buhlul, right? She really been wanting to give Buhlul money, but Buhlul will never take money from her. So now she saw a chance. And she said, Buhlul, how much are your palaces? May I buy one? Oh, and Harun al-Rashid looked at her and said, what? You want to buy his drawing on the sand? You know, are you silly? Why are you're being cheated? That's not a palace. It's just drawing on the sand. And then Queen Zubaida whispered to Harun al-Rashid, I know, but I want to help him. He's very poor. And I actually want to help him. He doesn't take any money from us. And I've been wanting to help him. It's a chance to help him. Right? And Harun said to her, up to you. I'm not going to buy a palace on the floor. Right? So Queen Zubaida said, Balloon, how much is your palace? And Bulu said 5 golden coins per palace. Okay, every palace is $5. $5 for one palace. Right, 5 golden coins per palace. And then Queen Zubaida, she saw there were 10 children there, right? And she said, okay, fine. Let me give you 10 golden coins. Right? 10 golden coins, one for each of you. Right? And she gave Bahlul the 10 golden coins, which Bahlul said, thank you. So this palace on the ground here is sold to that kind lady over there. And then they went off. Harun al-Rashid and Zubaida, they went off. And Bahlul distributed the money to the children. He didn't take any of the money, Bahlul. He's a very kind man as well. He gave the money to the children, the poor children. He gave the money to the children. He distributed the money, and he didn't take any money at all. That night, what happened that night? I want to ask, who here has heard this story before? Have you heard the story of Bahlul? I have so many stories of Bahlul. Today I was thinking which one to choose because there are like 50 stories of Bahlul. But I can't tell you all 50 stories. If not, I will not. You will only learn one hadith. You will not learn so many hadith. The whole book there are 50 stories of Bahlul, but I can't tell you all the stories of Bahlul. I know I told you Bahlul stories before, right? Some of you all, I've told you all Bahlul stories before, right? But some of the stories you all haven't heard yet. Okay, so that night, right? That night, I told you before. Sorry, Aman. I told you the story before. When did I tell you the story before? No, this story I haven't told you. I told another story of Bahlul,
When you
not
teach
this
my
story of
sister,
Bahlul.
then I listen.
Tishu?
My sister.
Did I tell you before? This one I didn't tell, right?
You
This
tell.
particular story. Another story I told you, all right? Not this particular story. Is it? The same story is what he draw on the floor.
Yeah.
Another one, right?
Yeah.
Another one, right?
It's not. Tell me the story.
No, it's this one. Okay lah, you hear the story lah.
was adults class.
Okay, then I will choose another story tomorrow, especially you all haven't heard before. Because there are 50 stories of Bohlul, but I'm not sure which one to choose. So many. Okay, so that night, I don't remember teaching you all this story. Okay, never mind. You can hear the story again and again and again until you remember the story. Okay, that night on the fancy bed of Harun al-Rashid while he was sleeping, let me give him a golden bed, okay? So where is Harun al-Rashid's bed? Okay, draw a fancy bed for him in gold. Very fancy. Because they're kings, right? So they have fancy, fancy stuff. Fancy, 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 fancy. Well, you know how the fancy, fancy beds. Okay. So Harun al-Rashid. Oh, kalau Harun blue eh. Okay, where is the blue? Okay. So Harun al-Rashid was sleeping that night on his fancy bed next to his wife, Queen Zubaida. Let me draw his hair. He's sleeping, right? Okay. Harun al-Rashid was sleeping on his fancy bed next to his wife, Queen Zubaida. There's the queen. Okay, draw the queen there. So I draw hijab on her lah. I don't want to draw her without hijab. Okay. So while they were sleeping, Harun had a dream. What was Harun's dream? Harun, the king, Harun al-Rashid, had a dream. And in his dream, guess what? In his dream, he saw a magnificent palace, as drawn in galaxy color. He saw a magnificent, shiny, huge, beautiful palace. It was in paradise. It was a magnificent, huge palace in paradise. And Harun al-Rashid wanted to go into this palace in his dreams. He says, wow, mashallah, look at that. Look at that beautiful palace. I want to go into that palace in his dream. I want to go into that palace. But just as he was about to enter the palace, a huge palace in his dreams, right, angels appeared. And the angel said, you are not allowed to enter this palace. This palace does not belong to you. And Harun said, but whose palace is this? And the angel said, this palace belongs to Zubaida. It is Zubaida's palace. You need to have her permission before you enter it. You're not allowed to enter this palace. This is Zubaida's palace. And then in the dream, Harun al-Rashid said, but how can she have a huge palace in paradise already? I'm the king. How can I not have a palace and she has a palace? Where did she get this palace from? And then Harun al-Rashid and the angel said, she bought it yesterday. She bought it yesterday. Yeah, he made animal sounds with the my shit, correct. Right. She bought it yesterday for 5 golden coins. She 10 golden coins. For 10 golden coins. She bought the palace yesterday. And Harun al-Rashid said, what? The palace that Bulu was selling? That palace? This is the palace. This is the palace that Bulu built. This one in paradise. I'm gonna buy it tomorrow. I'm gonna go to Bulu and go and buy the palace from him tomorrow. Right? So Harun al-Rashid, he woke up. He woke up from his dreams. Right? And he remembered his dream. And he said to himself, I'm going to go right to my brother Bohalul. Because he's seen the palace, right? In paradise. He said, I'm going to go to my brother Bohalul and I'm going to buy myself a palace, right? For 10, it was $5, right? For $5, I'm going to buy a huge palace in paradise for $5. Okay, the next day, he went to see Bahlul, same thing, okay? But now he came to Bahlul without his wife. He went to, in the morning, once the morning came, straight away, Harun al-Rashid, he went to his horse, right? And he rode his horse. And quickly he ran. I mean, the same picture that I drew just now. I don't draw a picture again, right? So he took his horse and he ran and he rode his horse to Bahlul, saying, Bahlul, Bahlul, Bahlul. And just, Bahlul, 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 do you have any more of those palaces? Do you have any more of those palaces? I want to buy a palace that you sold to my wife yesterday, oh Bahlul. I want to buy that palace that you sold to my wife yesterday. And Bahlul said, oh, we have plenty of palaces. You can buy our palace. Which palace do you want? And then Harun al-Rashid, why is my cell not working? Okay, never mind, cannot draw. Don't know why I cannot draw. Bismillah, why cannot draw? PowerPoint, why is PowerPoint not allowing me to draw? PowerPoint. Okay, never mind. Cannot draw anything. Okay, never mind. Right, so Harun al-Rashid came like to Bahlul and he said, Bahlul, 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 like, can you sell me your palace? One palace? And Bahlul said, sure, I can sell you all palaces. Which one do you want? And he said, the one on the floor that you're there drawing right now, sell me that one. And Bahlul said, fine. The cost of this palace is 10 million golden coins. 10 million golden coins. What? Yesterday you sold it to Zubaida for 5 golden coins. It's $5. And today you say $10 million. 10 million golden coins. No, that's not fair. Harun said, that's not fair. Yesterday you sold it to her like for $5. And today you're selling your drawing on the floor like for 10 million golden coins. And Bahul said, well, Zubaida bought the palace without seeing it. She didn't see the real palace. She just bought it because she was sincere and she was kind, and she just wanted to help us. She was not interested in the palace. She just wanted to help us. And because of that, I sold it to her for a cheap price. Right? But you just want the palace. You don't really want to help us. You just want the palace. So I'm gonna make you pay a very high price for this palace because I know you have seen the palace. You have seen the real palace, where this palace is. It's not just the palace on the floor. It's actually a real palace in paradise. Remember, Bahlul is a wali. Like a wali is somebody who is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they can just dua to Allah and Allah will give them, right? So which means Bahlul dua for Zubaida. Because she bought the palace for the poor children, right? To give them money. And Bahlul dua to Allah to give Zubaida a huge palace, like in paradise, which Allah gave to Zubaida. So Bahlul, his dua is answered, right? So Bahlul knows that now Harun al-Rashid is not that he wants to buy a palace, right? Then it's not that he wants to help the children. He just wants to buy the palace because he has already seen the palace. Different. Somebody who has not seen it yet and doing it because they are sincere and they want to do it for Allah and they want to help the poor people. Like Queen Zubaida, right? She was a very good queen. Now she didn't want any palace. She was just being very sincere to Allah, right? So Bahlul dua for her and sold the palace for a very cheap price. And but Harun al-Rashid, he wanted the palace because he's seen the palace. Different. Right? It's just like us. When we do our good deeds and you help your mother, when you give in to your siblings, right? When you do what? When you don't cry and complain and throw a tantrum, right? When you do what? When you pray, right? When you pray, you read Quran, can you see the reward? Can you see what Allah has prepared for you in the next world? Can you see? Are you able to see? Who can see what Allah has prepared for you in the next world? Or we cannot see it. We can't see it, right? Allah has prepared so much for us. In the next world, we can't see it. Like Queen Zubaida, she can't see what Allah prepared for her in the next world, but she did it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, Bahlul was teaching Harun al-Rashid a lesson, Harun, that you do good deeds without seeing what's the reward. Don't have to ask what I get. If your mother say, can you please clean the kitchen? Can you please mop the floor? Can you please sweep the room? But do you say, what are you going to give me? What are you going to give me if I do all these things? What are you going to give me? Do we say that? Do we say that or not? What can I get? What will you give me? What will you pay me? Astaghfirullah al-Azim. No, we just do it, right? We just do it. Allah will give. If you ask your mother for something in return because you did some housework, then that's all you get. And you get nothing in paradise. Oh no, what a loss. It's better you get something in paradise and get nothing in the world, right? Because in paradise is forever. The world, it will just get damaged or get or spoiled or get lost and throw it away. Correct. Like in paradise is forever. A palace in the world, you have to clean it and you have to pay people to clean it. In paradise, it's a self-cleaning palace. It doesn't get dirty also, right? Paradise palaces don't get dirty. It's always clean. Correct. Well, who wants a palace in this world if you have to clean the palace? You want palace in paradise, right? You don't have to clean the palace. It can be the most awesome palace that you can have. MashaAllah. Okay, so wise, right, Abu Halwal, to teach his younger brother Harun al-Rashid lesson. Okay, just help people. Don't have to see what you get. Just help. Okay, mashallah. Okay, tomorrow I'll do another story of Abu Halwal. Okay. Okay, tamam. Let's do our dua. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل أفضل صلواتك على أسعد المخلوقاتك حبيب الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك من كلماتك كلما ذكرك وذكره ذاكر وغفل عن ذكرك وذكر الغافلون. Okay, I have to go off now because I can catch Hababa. Okay, so وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته everybody.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Bye.
Bye.
I realize that you all are nowadays
Bye.
I don't have to block
Assalamualaikum.
the I don't have to block the chat. I don't have to
Bye,
mute you all.
Bye.
You're very good kids nowadays, mashallah.
Bye,
Okay,
Ustazah
bye.
Fana. Bye, Ustazah.